hip hop music from the soul, y'all. From the soul. It always start with loving, don't it? That we always end up fighting, but we could fall off long as we get back to riding, homie. You the only one I see, and I don't wanna hear another word about it. Never worry, yo, I got it on lock, ain't no other way around it. Put my hands together and look up into the heavens, say a prayer to my father, yo, I'm thankful that I found her. And they always saying blessings are disguised, but I'm seeing it. Heard the fairy tales, but I never thought I'd be in it. You gon' drive around in the car that I bought, steering wheel, got the double R, or the wing be in it. Stick around with me, and we'll be good. My day gon' come soon, and we'll eat good. I swear, yo, I'll never leave you out to dry. Stay in my line of vision, cause I don't never want you out my mind. Hey, you my fly from heaven. Hey, you my fly from heaven. You my fly from heaven. My fly from heaven. Some want the fame, some want the money, some go as far as saying they do it all for the honeys, but I wanna change gaming. You see me running from these demons deep inside, trying hard to keep it from me. They be rapping about the same shit, I'm about to change shit. You'd have thought I traded Xbox disc the way my game switched. Always riding with me when my lane switched. Never lost in translation, we speak the same language. And if you ever left, what's a G to do? All a nigga really know is me and you, and I don't wanna know nobody else, don't wanna show nobody else how to love me, cause we're young and we be getting to it. Nah, it ain't like that. When I fight, you fight back. Mad for the moment, but I got it, you like that. I know it gets harder. Every time you're running away, I can't wait to see you running right back. You my fly from heaven. You my fly from heaven. My fly from heaven. Hey, you my fly from heaven. We know it's coming up and I'm dreading it. I'm just trying to face it, maybe I could get ahead of it. It's not looking good for me, I just hope I don't break when you shake. Yo, it's not a good look for me, know that I'ma miss you day and night and shit, but I'ma hold it down for you till I die and shit. Don't worry about me, I'm staying put. When you leave, don't mind if I stay and look. Y'all can't let go. Y'all can't let go. Hey, you my fly from heaven forever.
All right. We in there.
We here. What up, y'all?
What's good? Welcome to TTE Tuesdays, TTEspn. We are attacking the AFC South. I had to look. AFC South today, y'all. AFC South. That's the Jaguars, the Texans, the Colts, and the Tennessee Titans. So, hope everybody's having a great week. But before we get into it, we always got to get into our icebreaker. We got an icebreaker. It's not really an icebreaker. It's more like a little game we're going to play.
All right.
I got a little game to play. All right. Here's how it's going to go. So you're going to say... So we talking about a hypothetical partner, right?
Okay.
So say if I'm saying like she's a 5 in looks, but she play video games, what does that amplify her to, and or bring them down to? So you say a number based on their physical features, and then you say something else to either offset it to bring them up, or offset it to bring them down.
Okay.
Right? So you know what I'm saying? I'll start. She's a 4, but plays video games.
She's a 4, but plays video games. That'll make her a 7.
What does that take him? It makes him a 7? Okay.
Makes him a 7.
Okay.
Makes him a 7.
A 4, but plays video games makes him a 7.
Makes him a 7.
I'm okay with that.
Makes him a 7.
I'll probably call it like an 8.
Okay.
I'm gonna multiply that. It's gonna be a times 2.
Times 2. Okay. All right. Let's see. So she's a 6, but she's the oldest sibling.
Ooh. Damn. A 6, but she's the oldest sibling.
Yeah.
That's kind of tough. I might gonna keep it at a 6.
Oh, all right. All right.
I might gonna keep it at
All
a
right.
6. Cause it's not more appealing or less appealing. I just know, damn, it's gonna come with a whole lot of responsibility. Damn.
Yup.
I'm gonna keep it at a 6.
Got you.
What you taking that to?
I gotta be. I still go 7.
A 7?
7.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. I got one. She's a 9. She can't cook.
Oh, yeah. It's like a smooth 2.
Damn,
it's like a smooth 2, bro. Yeah. You gotta. Yeah.
I'm gonna flip
That's
it.
a smooth 2.
I'm gonna flip it because we're gonna talk about the dudes too. We're gonna talk about the dudes too. He's a 3, but he make 7 figures.
Nah, you know what is? Forget that. We need to talk about a friendship scale.
Ooh, French, run it.
Friendship scale.
Friendship
He's
scale.
a 7, but he doesn't communicate.
2, easy.
2,
2,
easy. Trash nigga.
but don't say goodbye when they leave party chat. Just leave.
Yeah.
Don't say 2, easy. 2.
Guys got to learn to be better friends, bro. Got to be better friends.
All right. He's a 4. He's always the one you call when something go wrong and you need somebody to be honest with you.
Oh yeah, that's a 9. That's a smooth 9.
Man.
Smooth 9.
Because I mean,
real friends hold you down.
Is like the Marlon Wayans thing comes into play for me. I'm not the friend that's gonna sit there and celebrate your wins and go through all the stuff with you. When you're going through something, I'm the friend you call.
Yeah.
Smooth 9.
Yeah. That's a 9 right there. All right. Basketball edition.
Ooh.
It's
evolving.
This was fun. It's evolving. You know
okay.
That's what happens when you give us. This what happens when you give us basic ingredients. We do good things with them.
We stretch it.
We do good things with them. Yeah. Stretch it. I got it. He's 6'8".
Okay.
19 years old.
Okay.
But has 2 leg injury.
Oh my goodness.
Get him out of here, coach.
You a 2 at best.
Get him out of here, bro. Get him out of here. Out of here.
Wow.
Hey, yeah, you get him out of here.
Wow.
Get him out of here.
All right, I got you.
Okay.
7'2".
7'2".
Moves like he's 6'5". Fluid, everything.
Okay.
Has 0 organized basketball experience.
Oh wow. He's a 3, man.
Damn,
He's a 3.
a 3.
Man, that's
damn.
trash. Yeah. You in the league, man. Yeah, 3. That's a smooth 3. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, that's trash. He has a top 5 handles in the league.
Okay.
But he's socially conscious.
Socially conscious.
Yes.
I feel like we're talking about Kyrie Irving.
That's right. What we talking about, Kyrie?
Hey, you a 7 in my book.
It's a 7, man.
You a 7 in my book.
I don't know if you're gonna miss a game because of ankle injury or heart issue.
Man, you a 7 in my book. All right. I got you.
All right.
Get a bucket whenever they want. Has the ability to get everybody involved. He's a terrible locker room guy.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's a 5. That's a 5.
Oh, 5.
That's a 5. Goddamn you, Gilbert Arenas.
Why'd you bring a gun to work?
Yeah, bro. But the buckets is like kind of worth it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. That's it, though.
Man,
That's crazy. That's crazy.
you got a last one
Yeah,
for us? You got a last one for us?
got it. Last one. Last one. All right.
Or another
Last
icebreaker?
one. Realize. You know what? We're actually hold this. Let's come back next week. Now we got this, and we're gonna double it up. See if we can push the envelope on this.
Cool.
We'll push the envelope on this one next week. Let's go ahead and hop into it. The AFC South.
All right. The AFC South is going with the Texans, the Colts, the Titans, and the Jaguars. We're gonna start with the worst team.
The worst.
Ended last year. Y'all see it in the details. Y'all see it in the description.
Jacksonville
Jaguars finishing at 3-14. Coach this year.
Yeah.
Last year was Urban Meyer.
Yep.
We're just gonna let that pause for a little. We're gonna leave that. He should have stayed in college.
Yep.
Coach this year is who's their coach this year?
Doug Peterson.
Good old Doug Peterson, man.
Yep. Doug Peterson.
We got
taking
experience.
over the job.
Y'all see the Eagles in the background. We got experience with Doug Peterson. But
Yep.
let's start it off with the offseason moves, man. What are your thoughts and what are your views on the Jacksonville Jaguars in the offseason? From draft, signings, releases, all of that.
Yeah, man. So first thing first is getting rid of Urban Meyer. I told y'all when the mess happened. The only reason why he took the job was because he had the number 1 pick. Because everybody knew whoever took that job was getting Trevor Lawrence, which assumed should have bought him some grace to have at least 3 very bad years for he got up out of there. But clearly this man is not, he was not capable on the NFL level. Not just as a coach, let's just say, as a coach. Because when this man, like if some of the stuff that he said and did was absolutely true, I just don't know how some of these guys really have jobs. So again, Urban Meyer, I like low key never really liked him. He just seemed like a jerk type of dude.
I don't know how he didn't get dropped.
Yeah,
especially when he did to that punter.
Yeah, so I don't. Urban Meyer, like the best thing Jacksonville could have done was got him away from the team. That was a good move there. They're the opposite of Miami to me in the coaching department. And Miami let go of a capable coach and picked up a guy who we're like hoping. Doug Peterson has a pedigree. The man has a ring. So I feel like it becomes more evolved for Trevor to now have a coach who has experience in this area, who can actually begin to put him in some positions to help him. So making the head coaching change is definitely was the best thing that could have happened for them. So kudos to Jacksonville on that, getting rid of Urban Meyer. Other offseason moves they made, like in the moment when it happened and when they signed Christian Kirk's contract out, like everybody and their mom was like, you paid him too much. Or like, you just paid him too much. Yeah, they paid him a lot of money. But then when you look at his contract in the grand scheme of things, it's slowly starting to fall down the wide receiver tower here pretty soon. So it seems like they pretty much, it seems like they pretty much got him at market value. And if he actually explodes here, like I'm not even going to say explodes, but if he becomes like a 70 to 80 catch receiver with, 900 to 1,000 yards and like 6 TDs, for me, let me double check what he did in Arizona real quick before I ask him to do something that he already did. So last year in Arizona, he did 77 catches, 982 yards, and 5 touchdowns.
That's not bad.
Again, no, it's not bad. If you could just duplicate that here in Jacksonville, you will 100% elevate this offense to me. Yeah. You will 100% elevate this offense to me. So again, the Christian Kirk contract in the moment, I was like, why would you pay him that much? But again, with everybody who signed this offseason, everybody who's going to sign next, that's definitely going to be one of those contracts of value. When I look at their free agent list, they branded Brandon Scherf's guard from Washington, Evan Ingram tight end from the Giants. Those were the 3 people who I kind of looked at, was like, okay, this is your investment into helping Trevor on that side of the ball. So I like those moves, but what I did not like was their draft. I did not like their draft.
Okay.
Yeah. Did not like, because we was all sitting there. We were like, Aiden. We were like, just take Aiden 1 and make it easy on yourself. and they took Trayvon Walker. And I felt like every pick where they took somebody, they could have did something different. So this is going to be a draft where it's going to be like, okay, you fooled me and you took the better players, or you probably should have just did what was more popular in the moment and took what seemed to be the better prospect.
BPA,
Again,
especially at number one.
yeah, man, especially at number one, man. Like even when I look at their roster, I'm like, man, there's like nobody in the secondary here. And I know it would have been very, very tough to justify taking Sauce or Stingley number one, but I felt like they could. I would have rather went on the potential of one of those guys over a guy who I feel like really, really benefited from Georgia's defense. I'm like, this dude like really went off of traits on this one.
Oh yeah,
So I'm like, okay,
if you look at
so you
Trayvon
really
Walker
went,
next to Nakobe Dean led that defense. He's the reason Trayvon Walker is who he is.
And they got two guys coming out next year off that same D-line backer core who's going to be top 10. And it almost seems like this dude was like the guy who you was like, well, yeah, he might have not have got the production, but he sure has the potential. It's like, yo, you could have just took Aiden or Kayvon and kind of gave yourself a little more grace. So this is one of them real swing or miss things. I like Devin Lloyd as a linebacker, but ironically, I like Chad Muma better, who they picked up.
Yeah.
And then after that, I like Chad Muma just a little better. Luke Fortner looks like he's going to find his way into the starting lineup, and them keeping Cam Robinson at left tackle, hopefully, again, a little sense of security and everything. But the biggest acquisition for this year, to me, is the fact that Travis Etienne is supposed to be healthy. And the fact that he got hurt so early last year and wasn't supposed to be on the field, and now coming back into it this year, I'm just kind of looking at it like, this is a guy who I can see being 1,100 yards, 1,200 yards rushing with, 60, 65 catches out of the backfield, making life real easy for Trevor there. So that's like, again, I like the free agency moves because I felt like, again, you have to pay people to get there and their contracts will pan out. You raise the floor of this team. Again, the draft, I wasn't the highest on. I felt like they could have definitely did better with the draft. But again, this is one of the ones I'm going to kind of stamp and be like, yeah, y'all really should have did better. But I can't be mad at them. And I told you my projection with them is really going to go off having the new head coach and Doug Peterson, who I think is a good coach.
Yeah. To me, I think that was one of the key additions, right? Like you said, Travis Etienne getting healthy, being able to come in and be that 1-2 punch with James Robinson. Robinson had a hell of a year when he was on the field.
Yep.
I'm a little curious to see what Laviska Shenault does. I had high hopes for him coming in that draft class with I think he was in that draft class with like CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, Jerry Jeudy, those guys. So seeing how he plays, he's essentially he's third or fourth on the depth chart right now. They have him behind Christian Kirk and Marvin Jones. They have Zay Jones starting in front of him. So I want to see what Laviska Shenault's able to do this year with his limited roles and to see if he could be kind of that firecracker that they need. I do think Devin Lloyd was a little underwhelming, right? I still look at a guy like Josh Allen. I know what I'm going to get from Josh Allen. We saw last year in the Bills game, he came out and he was the better Josh Allen that day. Right?
Yeah.
And to get a Devin Lloyd to essentially be your leader, I don't know that I would trust him coming and be your leader. Like I said, Nakobe Dean was the leader of that defense. There's a clip, there's a popular clip out there where Nakobe Dean out on the goal line. I think they just missed. Actually, I think they just missed getting scored on. And Devin Lloyd was the one that had a messed up assignment. Nakobe Dean got on his neck. He was just like, yo, like, I need you to be in where you need to be. Next play, obviously he tuned in, locked in, went and made the play. Think about if they didn't have a Nakobe Dean in that moment. You get a Devin Lloyd that makes back-to-back mistakes. Other team scores. But the other key addition, I think, to this team is Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson, I think, is coming in with, like you said, he has a history. Very, very quarterback friendly. He's going to come in and make things, I don't want to say he's going to make things easier for that offense, especially with Trevor Lawrence. But I think he's going to mix it up a little bit. He's going to give Trevor Lawrence some different looks. He's going to get him on the run a little bit. One thing he did really good with Carson Wentz and Nick Foles two completely different styles of quarterbacks throughout that Super Bowl year was he took advantage of what Carson Wentz was good at. As soon as he lost Carson Wentz, he said, cool, now I know I got a pocket quarterback. We'll move the pocket a little bit. We'll get the running game going. Give him these little tight end dink and dunks. Like you said, Evan Ingram over there is going to be huge for him to have that big target. And they still got Dan Arnold from y'all.
Yep.
So that's two big body tight ends that you're able to kind of dump on.
I see a lot of two tight end sets with this group, man.
Oh, yeah.
Because Arnold and Ingram could cause a lot of mismatch problems.
Yeah, because, I mean, in Philly, we utilize Dallas Goedert and Zach Ertz. Those are two guys that really ate. Granted, Ertz ate a little bit more before Goddard started to break out. But I think we're going to see a lot of benefit from Evan Ingram and Dan Arnold with Doug Peterson's addition. But that's where we at for the offseason, man. What we got next?
Yeah, so let's look at their schedule, upcoming schedule for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and see if we can kind of key in on what we think they're going to do for this year. They have a Week 11 bye week.
Week 11 bye. They're starting at Washington, Indianapolis. They're starting on the road a good amount of I don't want to say the first 6 weeks. For the first 6 weeks are on the road at home against Indianapolis and Houston.
And last year they didn't win a game on the road. So this is a very good early test for them. Man, I have them starting 0-4. Unfortunately, I have them losing at Washington. I have them losing to the Colts. I have them losing to the Chargers, and I have them losing to Philly. Yep. I'll give them the win over Houston. I really do want to say that this Week 6 game at Indy could be a steal. I really do, but I'm still gonna lean Indianapolis, but I'm gonna chalk that one up. I'm gonna give them favor on that one, and I'm gonna give them the dub on that one. So they'll start. You know what? They're at 2-5 right now. So give them a loss. I'll give them beating New York, losing to Denver, Vegas, and Kansas City. So they would be 2-8 at the bye week.
8 at the bye week. That's what I got them at as well. Houston, I got them.
Yeah, I have them.
And then, like you said, New York. I think New York will be a close game, but I think their defense is going to be able to pull it off for them in New York.
Yeah. And after the bye week, I have them losing to Baltimore, beating Detroit. I'll actually give them. I'm gonna have them split with Tennessee. They got one at home, one on the way. So I have them split with Tennessee. That's 2-9, 3-9, 10. So I'm actually gonna have them 7-10 this year.
7 games. Damn, you gave them 7 games.
No, 6-11. 6-11. I'm gonna give them 6-11. Sorry.
Who's the 4
6-11 this year? Detroit, New York, Houston, and Tennessee.
You gave them Detroit.
They'll close out
Oh yeah. We did give them Detroit.
I'll give them Detroit. I'll give them the Jets. I'll give them the sweep over Houston. I'll give them Tennessee. So I'm going to give them 6-11 this year. It's very, very tough for me to think that there's a chance that they could beat one of the AFC West teams. I just don't think that that's in their agenda this year. They always do find a way to split with the Colts, but they soiled the Colts season last year. So it wouldn't shock me if the Week 2 game in Jacksonville, they was able to find a way to take that. But I think I'm pretty set on 6-11. I would be shocked if this turned into an 8-9 win team, but I definitely see 5 wins minimum for the Jags this year.
So I got them at 5-12. Is kind of their floor. After the bye week, I got them taking Detroit. I got them taking New York. I got them taking Houston. So those 3 games after the bye. The toss-ups for me are those 2 Tennessee games. I don't trust Tennessee, but I do trust Mike Vrabel.
Yeah.
Right? You always have a Derrick Henry. And with a Derrick Henry, you never know, man. He could give you 97 hard rushing yards. He could give you 250. So for me, the ceiling is going to be those 2 Tennessee games at 7-12 or 7-10. My bad. 7-10 or 5-12.
Yeah.
That'll be the differences.
I think 6 games. Yeah. So 6-11 to me is a productive year for them this year. Again, this is just a very tough schedule, especially specifically when you look at them having to play the AFC West this year. That one's tough. But yeah, 6-11. I would not be mad at that as a Jags fan. Again, it's very tough for me to find ways to sway the other wins towards them. But I'm 6 wins. I'm definitely set on this year for this team.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I in the past, right, with the Carson Wentz led Indianapolis Colts, I trust them, the Colts, to maybe drop one of those. I think having a Matt Ryan and a Jonathan Taylor the year after his breakout year, they're gonna have a solid team. They're gonna have a really good team.
Yeah.
I don't want to say they're gonna cause any problems for anybody, but they're gonna win the games that they're supposed to win. All the games that we said the Colts were gonna win last year. We'll get into a little bit more of that later, but I do think the Colts will hold strong.
Yep.
But that's the
so going into next. Yeah. So going in to close out with the Jags. Key players. Key players for the Jacksonville Jaguars in order for them to have a successful season. I think for me, I go to start off for me, a successful season for the Jacksonville Jaguars is the progression of Trevor Lawrence. And that starts one with the protection, bringing in Scherf, drafting Luke Fortner, bringing back Cam Robinson. I would hope to see if there's a way that Walker Little can maybe show that he's serviceable in some type of way, maybe step up, find his way into the lineup. I know they picked him up last year. But the progression of Trevor Lawrence, told you the theme this year was invest into your first-round quarterbacks. We talked about Mac Jones and Zach Wilson and Justin Fields and how those guys invested into their second-year quarterbacks, Trevor Lawrence being the number one pick. I felt like you did that this year, again, with the return of Travis. You can't stop health, but he's healthy. So, again, I feel like he's going to cook Christian Kirk and then picking up Evan Ingram. I feel like this team is really set up to really allow Trevor Lawrence to show out, man. When you go look at his stats, it's shocking to see that he still had 3,600 passing yards, 12 TDs, 17 picks. And so, again, I see the yardage still remaining at that level, 3,600. I don't have no key players for defense because, again, I just don't think nothing that they do defensively this year is going to be top tier, elite, maybe average on a very best day. Again, they've shown to do some things, but with this core, I just think it's all about Doug Peterson, Trevor Lawrence, and finding the way to get this offensive engine going and really preparing yourselves for that leap next year into the third year of Trevor Lawrence. That's what I think success is for Jacksonville this year and the players that matter.
For sure. I got two of my players being part of a duo in Travis Etienne and James Robinson. I think James Robinson did a great job kind of being that dude last year. He was kind of forced into that role. I think going into the season, they didn't really expect him to be the number one back. They were, hoping to get into Travis Etienne. But I think those two will be key next year for sure. I think, like you said, Cam Robinson being able to protect Trevor Lawrence is going to be huge. And then to me, that tight end duo, Evan Ingram and Dan Arnold, in the Doug Peterson offense, those two are going to be key, extremely key. We're just going off of what we know from Doug Peterson over the last 5 years, right? Since our Super Bowl run, and then after that, he's able to draw up some plays that I think Christian Kirk is going to feel kind of that I don't want to go this far, but an Alshon Jeffrey type role who should be your sure-handed guy. And then you got your Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert type guys with an Evan Ingram and a Dan Arnold. We always expected a whole lot out of Evan Ingram in New York. Obviously that didn't pan out, so I think being on being next to Dan Arnold in the Doug Peterson offense is going to be huge for him. So I'm gonna go with the tight end pair, the running back pair, and then that left tackle and Cam Robinson. Those would be my keys for next year for them to be successful.
All right. Jacksonville, man. Y'all got the potential next great quarterback, man. You got a good coach. You get to look for the signs this year, Jacksonville fans. Just not only look for the signs, man. There was a video I watched of a guy who just showed all the drops and all the dimes that Trevor was throwing in, when stuff was open. It was just so disconnected last year. And like when I watched that, I was like, man, Trevor really again because I was like, he had 3,600 yards. Like, where did this come from?
Yeah.
And man, he was making some passes that I was like, yo, this dude really is talented, bro. Like that man really can make some plays there.
Who's slinging the
So
rock?
that I'll definitely be tuning into them. They got that Zach Wilson, Trevor Lawrence end of the year Sunday night
Yep.
game towards the end. So that'll be an interesting one to watch.
And I mean, being at 314 last year and having a floor that we give them of 5 wins, that's an improvement. 2-game improvement. That's all you can ask for.
Yeah.
That's all you can ask for.
Yeah. Definitely.
Obviously, Jags fans will probably be mad like the Lions fans were, but it is what it is.
Nah, I don't think Jags fans. I don't even actually know a Jags fan.
I didn't even think Lions fans was gonna be salty, but they were salty.
Yeah.
Going into the next team, the Houston Texans, finishing last year at 4-13. New head coach this year?
New head coach Lovie Smith.
Coley
got the axe after year 1. Lovie Smith will be stepping in.
So I think that coaching hire from last year was an L as soon as they hired him. We all talked about it. As soon as they hired him. Deshaun Watson, who wanted who we wanted. This is before we knew whether or not he was going to play or not. Obviously, he ended up not playing all year, but Lovie Smith is going to be, I think he's going to be good for them. I think he's going to be a good shift in culture to be able to rebuild that offense post, or not just that offense, but rebuild that team post Deshaun Watson. Who do you got as far as off-season additions and or subtractions?
So I think for them, again, just like Jacksonville, the coaching change, and there was nothing against David Culley, man, but that man was set up to fail.
Absolutely.
That man was set up to fail. Yeah, so he was set up to fail, but I was so happy that he had it in his contract that they still got to pay him all his money. So I would have took a year job too, knowing that y'all still gonna pay me after all of that too.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll take that. But we all know Lovie Smith, his 10 years before as a coach. The man gets down. He does his thing, man. And one of the first indications that showed me that he's really trying to put his stamp on this was taking Derek Stingley with his number 3 pick. I felt like he was a Lovey guy because I was like, man, he could take his edge. I was like, or he could take his lockdown corner and try to start that way. So he's making his stamp on his team. Last year, this team did play a lot of closer games and get some wins, but they signed a lot of veterans. A lot of those guys have left. They've kind of embraced the younger youth train here. So I expect this to be one sporadic as hell team. Games wise. So on that alone, I'm kind of, again, with Lovey. I know what Lovey can do as a coach. We've also seen like his limitations, but he builds a great defense. He has his scheme that he likes to run. But this is probably one of the more intriguing draft classes as a whole for me. Because you go Derek Stingley, Kenyon Green with your second first-round pick. You pick up Jalen Petrie, another DB, buying into that Tampa 2 type Lovey defense that he has. Petrie, who could play all over the field. John Mechie,
yeah.
Mechie, however it's pronounced, don't want to slaughter it. Definitely a versatile wide receiver. This dude, when on film, he's so fast, bro. Like, he's so fast. So I can see him, especially with the Mr. Consistent Brandon Cooks, who finds a way to get 1,000 every year. I think adding this guy really will give them a dimension to their offense, and if they let him play special teams, that should bring some excitement to that team. I'm trying to tap in on Christian Harris a little more. Linebacker, I know, it seems like these Bama linebackers kind of are like a good floor player. None of them seem to have kind of broke the roof on that.
Yeah.
But again, Lovey went defense, O-line, defense, wide receiver, defense. And then one of the underrated running backs is Dameon Pierce, man. Dude was really heavy after contact. I know they got Marlon Mack and them ahead on the depth chart now. That's probably just off of principle. But I would not be shocked if we got in there and we saw this dude starting to work his way into the lineup. He's definitely a running back that I got my eye on this year with all the moves that they've made. But this is a lot of draft classes. Like we just looked at Jags. I stopped at 4 because I was like, all right, these are kind of the 4 guys. And somebody sneaks in. But this could be a very good foundational class on top of what they did last year with their people too. I believe they did the right thing in drafting all these players around and just letting Davis Mills have another year because your team wasn't a quarterback away and all of this stuff. So, you know what I'm saying? It's best just to let a guy who's familiar and around and who the team and city seems to embrace, just let him have another year of rookie contract. Like we could sort stuff out. But I find a lot of like John Michie, he's definitely one of the exciting guys. So I'm like, we're gonna see a lot of highlights from him this year to me.
Cool.
That's kind of my quick overview. Yeah, but like the free agent signings was just kind of like they were very iffy. The way they were iffy to me, I just felt like they are making room for these guys to buy into Lovey and really be the foundation for that.
For sure. I think signing Justin Britt to me, center. I think he was on the team already, but being able to bring him back and get him on another contract to me was huge. I'm a lineman guy, right? Defense and offense. It's where my heart is. It's where my position is. But being able to bring a high IQ guy like Justin Britt, I think to me sets them up for the future, right? He's not going to be a long-term guy, but he is a guy that you kind of put as a staple to get your next center set up. You're not going to be good for the next 2-3 years, and I think they've accepted that, bringing back, letting Davis Mills kind of just say, "Cool, we're gonna let you rock." We also got Kyle Allen back there. Now we're not gonna go as far as Jeff Driscoll back on he's third on the depth chart. But it's a very underwhelming team. Very, 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 very underwhelming. Like you said, Brandon Cooks and John Michie are two big names that stand out. Granted, John Michie, rookie, we'll see what he does. Brandon Cooks, like you said, somehow he always figures out how to get 1,000 yards. Whether that be on those fly sweeps, screens, or just those deep bombs. We know Davis Mills got an arm. He was slinging it last year. There's not really anything that stands out to me on this team. Right? I look at this team and I'm just like, I think this is just going to be a really bad year for the Texans. But it's going to be a bad year, but I think this is the beginning of kind of Lovie Smith being able to take this team and rebuild the culture here. You got to rebuild post Deshaun Watson, which I don't think anybody's really talking about too much. That's a huge rebuild post Deshaun Watson.
I think the rebuild messed up and started with them once they got out of JJ and D Hop.
Oh yeah.
And I think finally getting off of Watson and his situation really allows them a fresh start.
Yeah. This is kind of that breath of fresh air they needed. I think they're the Lions from 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
That's kind of my comparison to this team, is where the Lions were 2 years ago, damn near 0-16.
Yeah.
Trying to figure it out. Had some okay pieces, had an okay draft. I think this is where the Texans are. I think they'll definitely be in the quarterback lottery pick next year. Yeah, so we'll see who they're in the sweepstakes for next year. I definitely think they'll be at the bottom of the barrel next year, so they'll have a pretty high pick. But let's jump into taking a look at their schedule. Going into next year, they have a bye week on week 6, early bye week, and then they're playing
bye week, which is a good thing for young
games.
teams. I feel like that's a good thing for young teams. Early bye week, I feel like that's a good thing for young teams, man, because then they could take whatever they got, flip it around. Because when you get to the back end of the year, with like the holiday games, the schedule gets icky. So I feel like being able to have an early bye week will benefit this team. Still doesn't benefit them from probably going 1-4 at the bye week.
Are you giving them Jacksonville, or are you giving them Chicago? Because I think we had Jacksonville beating them.
Yeah, I also had Chicago beating them. I think I was the only one that had Chicago beating them.
You were, because I got I for sure got a 1-5 taking Chicago. Actually, no, I had Chicago with you, 0-5.
Yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and take the 0-5 to the bye week. Let's go ahead and take the 0-5. You know what? 1-4. Somewhere there's got to be some light in there. So I go 1-4 to the bye week. Coming out of the bye week, Vegas is a L. Tennessee, man, I just kind of want Tennessee to suck, but I'm not gonna do that to y'all. I'm more so trying to count my wins on this one than anything. But I feel like I have to somewhere along the line give him. Maybe I don't got to give him one. I feel like 3-14 is their absolute ceiling next year.
I got them 2-15.
Yeah, 2-15, 3-14 is the Texans ceiling next year, which is okay. It is very, 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 very okay to be that next year because again, the way that this roster is starting to be constructed under the coach, like 2-15, 3-14 will get you one of those top quarterbacks next year.
Mm-hmm.
And then the door becomes wide open because what if you get a Bryce Young that comes back and pairs up with John Mechie here and you're able to find yourself back into there? So 2-3 win team here for Houston, man. Embrace this. Embrace this. Y'all deserve a smoke break after the whole Watson situation, man. So embrace that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think Lovie Smith doesn't have a good year, but I think obviously they signed Lovie Smith knowing this is a culture shift, not a coaching change. So
yeah,
he'll be there for the rebuild. I don't know where these 2 wins are gonna come from, to be honest with you. I'm gonna say that it's gonna be at Tennessee and then maybe somewhere in like Cleveland. Because they got Cleveland at home.
Yeah, I could see Cleveland. I could see a split with Jacksonville. I could see a win over Chicago. I could see them beating the Giants. I also could see them finding a way to split with Tennessee. So there's a couple like games in here. I'm not even gonna lie, like you probably could still win at Washington too.
Yeah.
And no lie, maybe Tua might be hurt by week 12 trying to play full time, and you can still win him against Miami. So
I mean,
there's some
not a lot of people want to hear this, but there's not a lot of big names on this team. But that might be a good thing for them. You go into some of these teams that got big names, you already know who you're game planning for. You look at this team and you're just like, there's not a lot there. We got Marlon Mack.
Yeah.
Right? Like, who are we really going to game plan for when it comes to this team?
Yeah.
Are we going to game plan for Marlon Mack or Rex Burkhead? Brandon Cooks is obviously somebody you're circling on Thursday, Friday, Saturday going into the game on Sunday. But aside from that, you ain't game planning for nobody. And that could be a trap game for a lot of people. This is where I'm coming to Tennessee. This is where I'm looking at Cleveland. This is where I'm looking at those teams. But
the development of Petrie and Stingley under Levy is going to be 2 people to really keep an eye on for me. That's when I look at because again, Levy's defensive guys. Maybe he's changing things up, but again, he has a staple of something that he's good at. It might be something that again he starts to build as his foundation for this team. Mm-hmm. So again, taking Stingley and Petrie, those are 2 guys who I look at hey man, these 2 guys can be extremely foundational to again this team. Kind of shocking. I wouldn't be shocked if we see Stingley have a Patrick Surtain type of year this year. Okay. Yeah. So,
where would you put Stingley as far as in comparison to the other teams in his division? Where are you putting Stingley?
As far as the other what?
When you're putting him up against all of the other DBs in this division, where are you putting Stingley?
Man, I have to look at a list, but you got Tennessee. Not really nobody off the list. I mean, the Colts did just pick up Gilmore, and I think they got Righteous Yang. Jacksonville doesn't have one that I would want to really mention. Well, they did just bring in Shaquille Griffin too.
We're talking about we're talking about a Gilmore 3 years removed from his All-Pro season, 2-3 years removed from his All-Pro season, having a down year, a little bit on the a little bit injury plagued year. So it's if I'm looking at Stingley, man, top 3 maybe in this division.
No, definitely. It's definitely there. And they got a kind of intriguing room because I've always been a little higher on Desmond King than I think most people have been. Kind of just like how he plays. And Jalen Petrie moves all around. He can move all around too.
And especially against the receivers they're going to be playing.
Yeah.
I think the best receiving room you're going to be talking about is this next team that we're going to talk about in the Colts.
And that's not that much.
Right, and
it's not that much.
The very next one, which is a close second, is probably the Jags.
Yeah, it's not difficult for him on his matchups to have a couple good games here. So yeah, this could be very man, I don't know. It's been tough to kind of find a cornerback, get a rookie of the year. But again, I think Stingley and Petrie being early picks for them, man, was definitely foundational to what I believe they're going to try to attack. And so, like, when I look at key players, I specifically, so one offensively I look at is Brevin Jordan, tight end, picked up last year out of Miami. God seems to have all the potential in the world. Kind of got put onto him, so I want to see him take a second year, like take another leap with Davis Mills and start to kind of shine that light there. I'm not gonna put nothing on John Michie because again, like I feel like he's gonna be maybe more around like the 50, 60 catch range, 700-800 yards. That's kind of where I got him at. I think maybe how the team would play, his numbers might go up because who knows? Maybe they might find themselves behind and he can spam some stuff up to kind of help that out. But then again, Derek Stingley. I'm looking at Derek Stingley definitely. Again, high invested capital into you. I almost feel like he doesn't get the grace to come along slowly like the other first round cornerbacks have.
Oh no,
I feel like I don't feel like he gets the room. I feel like if he bums out, it's going to be shown very quickly, and then it's going to hinder this team. But I also think, man, he's a guy who played against Jefferson and played against Jamar on the weekly in practice. So I really think he's built for it going forward.
Which is crazy to say because he has a little bit shorter of a leash than Sauce does. Which is crazy to say, especially as high as Sauce went.
I also think Stingley's better than Sauce. I don't never understand why that was like. I never understood the Sauce argument being better than Stingley. Like that really messed me up. Now again, maybe I could be fool's gold on this one, but I was just always like, why is this even a conversation? So
we going off of what we see
clearly number one
as a whole, and your competition that you're playing against. And this dude, like you said, playing against Justin Jefferson, playing against Jamar Chase every single week in practice.
Yeah. So I think he's definitely going to come in and be like, again, man, I expect him to be up in the canon. It's just tough for young cornerbacks to win it because, again, you got to have some pick numbers there compared to what everybody else is stat stuffing. But yeah, man, I can expect a Patrick Surtain type of year out of him this year.
Okay.
And I think with that, that's a win for Houston. Because like you said, you go into next year and you continue to enhance upon this culture and this what Lovey's trying to build here.
Absolutely.
So
give me two key players for them next year. 2 key players.
Oh yeah, that's it. 2, yeah. Number 1 is absolutely Derek Stingley. Okay. Absolutely Derek Stingley, and then number 2 for me is Brevin Jordan. I want to see if you're the tight end that this potential may claim you to be. So I want to see what he's able to do. I think with Brandon Cooks being Mr. Consistent and Michie being this, exciting utility guy, I think he's going to have room to eat here. And I see him be able to eat and make life for Mills and them pretty easy. So, again, I think you're going to have the chance to do that. So, Brevin Jordan on the offensive side, Derek Stingley on the defensive side.
Cool. I'm going to go both defense. I'm going to stick with you on Stingley. And the other one for me is Gamu Grugier-Hill. Their linebacker. Leader of that defense. 108 tackles last year. That's going to be huge for him this year. He's got to replicate that. And I think he does have to maybe be in the 115, 120 tackle range in order for their defense to be successful. I do think their defense is going to be on the field a lot. Right? So it shouldn't be too hard for him to get that.
Yeah.
But he has some great years. He has some great years in I'm gonna hold myself. I'm not gonna say great. He has some good years. He was never healthy. I think the most tackles he had in Philly was like 25, 27. Because he was never healthy. He was never playing. But last year coming out with 108 tackles, playing 14 games. I think as long as he's healthy the whole season, I think he's gonna be key for them for sure.
Yep.
All right, man. That takes us over to the Indianapolis Colts, who made a whole lot of moves in the offseason without making a whole lot of moves.
Yep.
They finished last year 9-8. 9-8. What you got them doing in the offseason?
Quarterback purgatory, man. Y'all deserve quarterback purgatory, man. Y'all really do. And I mean, if you can find yourself starting to slowly go through the cycle of Phillip Rivers, Carson Wentz, and now Matt Ryan. Y'all got rid of Carson so fast, and rightfully so, man. I mean, you guys, we even said it here when we was doing the weekly. We said if Colts got to this point, they should win out the last 2 games and walk to the playoffs, and they didn't. So I really do understand why you decided to move off of Carson. But I'm not gonna sit here and act like you taking Matt Ryan, you know what I'm saying, pushes that needle that much further. Because I think Matt Ryan, like I think Matt Ryan going to this team at his point in his career is still a little step down of what Philip Rivers was able to accomplish with this team.
Absolutely.
Um, so
Absolutely.
yeah, but unfortunate, well, not unfortunately, fortunate for Colts fans, you still have a really, really good defense that I feel like opportunistic. You got some great pieces on that side of the ball. Really good O line that seemed to be a little more shakier last year than what was normally thought to be, man. But I really do hope nothing but bad things for the Colts because I told y'all, man, I really don't like how y'all did Andrew Luck. So I'm like the best thing that could happen for me this year, and I don't want nobody to get hurt. I just want y'all to lose, and I just want y'all to lose heartbreaking cold games, so that your organization can be like, we need another new quarterback, and then you can finally stop and say, damn, Andrew Luck, we did you bad, my guy. You know what I'm saying? And then take it from there. And then you can repent and then you can, go on and do the right thing. But this team is built so well, it seems like, of all the years that you didn't decide to really take care of that man Luck. So yeah, I hope that y'all fail, but I do have y'all winning the division. So, fortunately, your ceiling is no matter what I say your record's about to be, you're out of there the first round, Colts fans.
Facts.
So enjoy, yeah. So enjoy losing at home in the playoffs. All right. I really don't like y'all for how y'all did that, and I'm gonna
Mm.
stand on that.
Cool. Cool. All season moves for
They
me,
did
man.
have I did you what they did have a rookie. A guy told me to look out for. Now they had Alec Pierce do 4-3 type of dude. I told you, all a Cooley type looking man. Bernard Raymond, who we saw mocked in the first, fall all the way to him. So Raymond could, with how this O line's been developed, he could turn into a good piece. But people have told me to keep an eye on Jelani Woods. They
Yeah,
say he
that was
gets
a name you
yeah,
brought up a
say he's
couple
some
times.
yeah, they said he's a physical freak and all this and that. He could be a guy that works out for him. So we'll see. I told the guy we'll keep an eye out for him, so we'll see what he could do.
Where they got him on the depth chart? Jelani Woods.
Third string.
Ew.
Right now he's third string, but again he's a rookie going into camp, and the guy ahead of him, Wally Cox, 24 catches, 316 yards, 4 TDs. So if you are this physical dude who people are saying you are, I don't think it should be that hard to take Mo Alley Cox's spot. You know what I'm saying?
Six
So you know what I'm
seven.
saying?
6'7",
Yeah,
265, running a 4.3, 4.4. That's
yeah.
not bad.
So again, people have told me to watch out for him. So we'll see what that does.
Cool.
But yeah, go ahead. Ace. You got it. Off season thoughts, moves, man.
Stephen Gilmore. I think Stephon Gilmore was one for them. That's one of the obvious picks, right? You ain't got Stephon Gilmore.
Well,
One of the ones I am so glad that they made was they picked up Rodney McLeod. It's not a good pick. It just took him away from us. I'm glad y'all did. Thank you for taking Rodney McLeod, because then that means we didn't have to pay him. Bumps up
yeah,
our safety room, moves some guys up on the depth chart. So thank you. One of the other key moves for me for them was Yannick Ngakoue out of Las Vegas Raiders. I think
yep,
being able to put him over there next to DeForest Buckner is huge. He didn't really make a lot of noise last year, but I think having DeForest Buckner, all Pro Bowl guy, DeForest Buckner is going to give you what you're looking for. He's not up there in the Aaron Donald tier because he's up there by himself, but he's for sure
yeah,
in the mix right below that. DeForest Buckner, dude. I'm also an Oregon guy, so that comes with a little bit of a, Oregon love for sure. Darius
yeah.
Leonard being able to get healthy this year, play a full year. Matt Ryan, look, man, it's not an upgrade. It's not a downgrade. Y'all just traded an athletic on the run guy in Carson Wentz to a stand in the back, in the pocket, Matt Ryan. Traded one athletic skill for another. I
Yep.
don't think y'all benefited. Biggest beneficiaries of this was probably Michael Pittman and that wide receiver room.
Yep.
Carson Wentz couldn't get him the rock. He couldn't even stay on the field. He was never healthy. He played the majority of the games of the year. I think he actually played them all.
Yep.
But he was never 100%. like you said, that O line was a little bit underwhelming last year in comparison to what we're used to seeing from the Colts. They
Yeah.
did help Jonathan Taylor run amok throughout the whole season. So we'll see if they can keep that same up. But Matt Ryan to me is a very underwhelming signing.
Yeah.
We'll see, man. We'll see. They got Nick Foles second on the depth chart, so we might see some
Yeah, that's
Nick
the
Foles.
steal. The steal. That's the steal. Is Nick being the backup
I'm
wherever
cur-
Nick's a backup
I'm
at?
curious how
Good
this
things happen.
man continues to get paid. How he's getting paid? He's still getting paid from Chicago. Chicago's still paying him that big money for him to be a second string quarterback. Now he's a second string quarterback in Indianapolis making starter money.
Yeah.
So what happened to taking a look at their schedule? They have a late bye week, and that to me is concerning.
Yeah.
Having an older quarterback like Matt Ryan, that could either be really good or really bad for him. But they have a Week 14 bye week.
Week 14. So let me see here. Looking at their schedule, I'll have them starting 2-0. Dang. So on every other, so getting to Denver, I have them 3-2.
Same.
Then they'll go on or possibly could be a 3-game winning streak over Jacksonville, Tennessee, and Washington. Which really I probably should be picking Washington because I said they would win the division. So 3-2. So let's say I'll give them 5-3 at this point. Going to New England. Man, you know what? I'm gonna actually give New England that game. It's a November bill. I'm not gonna touch that one.
You gave it to New England? I think we
Yeah, this is
gave that to Indianapolis when we went.
Yeah,
when
we
did that
did.
division.
Yeah, we did. But this is I'm like looking at it now. This is New England bill. Well, yeah. So hold on, let me double back. So I had 3-2, 5-2, 6-2. So let's say 6-3. They get to the Raiders for. All right, so I'm gonna give them 8 wins at the bye week.
Damn, I think
Let me double check.
I think that New England one is the one that we kind of parted on because I got them at 7 wins into the bye week. Oh no, I got them at 8 wins.
7.
I got them at 8 wins.
Yeah, 8 at the bye. Then they come out and go 2-2. Drop
So
2, win 2.
10-7.
10, 10-7.
10-7 is good enough to win the division.
Yeah, that should definitely be enough.
So we're gonna call their floor 9-10 wins.
9-10
Ceiling
wins.
maybe 12.
9-10 wins.
9-10. Ceiling and the floor is at the same place.
Yeah.
The ceiling is the floor. What's that?
Ceiling is the floor,
what did
bro.
Michael Jordan say?
Yeah. Ceiling is the floor, the same place, bro. No. Yeah, y'all get 9 or 10. Y'all get 9 or 10. That's it. Not giving y'all no more.
The ceiling is the floor. Okay, cool.
Yeah, y'all get 9 or 10.
Right,
y'all get 9 or 10. But
that takes us into to some key players, man. Talk to me about the key players.
Key players. Michael Pittman, man. Michael Pittman. You were on Terry McLaurin watch. A lot of people think he's pretty underrated. There's an argument to be made that I've seen people make about Michael Pittman is they don't think he's a number 1 wide receiver. Some people do believe he's a number 1 wide receiver. If I look up his stats from last year, I believe it was 88 catches, 1,082 yards, and 6 touchdowns. Michael Pittman is what I think people believe Drake London will be. And for me, that's not a number 1 wide receiver. I told you I didn't like Drake London being the first. I mean, I love that the Falcons took Drake London. Don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm rejoicing in that part because if Drake London is Michael Pittman, I'm gonna be all right. I'm leaning more towards the side of Pittman is closer to the 20th, 25th best receiver in the league, and that's at that. So that's on that. On the defensive end, I want to see a good year from Kwity Paye. I know you brought up Yannick Ngakoue, man, but I want to see if this potential that we've seen in Kwity Paye, if it comes to it, man. I know they had Oweh in Baltimore, and it was kind of like an Oweh Paye thing. all up through the draft combined, man. But I want to see a really good year from Kwity Paye here. I want to see if he can get up to, just be productive. See 7, 8 sacks, man. I think you're going to be able to have the time to do that with this defense. Again, I think this is a good defense. I think it's enough to benefit. Matt Ryan last year, again, Carson Wentz went 27-7. Matt Ryan went 20-12. And you're going to tell me you expect more from him when almost his receiving room has dropped.
Exponentially.
Yeah, exponentially. And then you go from your best receivers, which you missed Calvin Ridley, you had Cordell Patterson, you had Kyle Pitts, and the other guy. I don't want to start to name too many Falcons people because they don't need to get no love from me. But you had all of that. And again, Matt Ryan found himself in a lot of. I mean, the O line was not good either, so I could give him that. But 20-12, I don't see anymore. Again, I think the best that they got out of these quarterbacks is what Phillip Rivers was able to provide for this team. And again, I don't think Carson he just ended the year really bad. You know what I'm saying? He just ended the year really, really bad. So I don't think you should expect too much more from Matt Ryan at all. I know people are trying to buy into this whole well, he's going to take the check downs and Naheem Hines and Jonathan Taylor should have more catches. I'm like, yeah, he's going to take the check downs, but you forget you're going to miss a lot of the big playability that was provided to you from Wentz. And do you think you really want to become a conservative offense with an opportunistic defense? Doesn't seem like a match made in heaven there, man. So, again, I'm going to give you 9-10 wins, and I'm going to stand on that. I'm not going to give y'all no more.
Damn.
I'm not going to give y'all no more.
Damn.
Bob Sanders the GOAT, though. I love Bob Sanders, though. Y'all don't deserve him. All right. What you got, Ace, man?
I'm going to go with the key being Jonathan Taylor. And only Jonathan Taylor. They're going to go as far as Jonathan Taylor is willing to run them. Last year, 1,800 yards, 18 touchdowns. 1,800 yards, 18 touchdowns got them 9 wins. 1,800 yards, 18 touchdowns got them 9 wins. All of Carson Wentz's touchdowns was all just, we're behind big and we need to throw the rock. Right? That's what I'm going to call it. But I'm going to say that they're going to go as far as Jonathan Taylor's legs take them. I think this O-line loves to block for him in the run game. They obviously didn't like to block for Carson Wentz because that fool don't like to stay in the pocket. So it's hard to want to block for a dude like that. But I'm gonna go with Jonathan Taylor. They brought Austin Hooper in to put next to, or they got Austin Hooper next to Matt Ryan again. It wasn't successful in Atlanta. What makes y'all think it's gonna be successful here? Who knows? On the defensive end, I'm gonna go with Darius Leonard. Darius Leonard had a hell of a year last year. Great year last year. I think he needs to do that again this year. I think he needs to solidify that middle of the field. Set the tone for that secondary. Set the tone for that front seven. Having, like you said, DeForest Buckner, and being able to have a guy like Kwity Paye there, Grover Stewart, Yannick Ngakoue. We'll see what they do. But to me, I'm going with Jonathan Taylor on offense. Darius Leonard on defense.
All right.
That's going to wrap it up for the Colts, and that's going to take us into the team that won the division last year. In the Tennessee Titans, they finished 12-5. A whole lot of offseason moves. Talk to me, man. Talk to me.
Yeah. Man, Tennessee, y'all got a great coach in Mike Vrabel. I love that man's NFL draft. How he just kind of kick it in and God knows what is going on in the background. Tennessee, y'all, the last time y'all were on the field, Ryan Tannehill threw 3 picks into where you lost the game by a field goal to the Bengals. That is going to scar y'all going into this year. So what I'm going to tell y'all to do, man, because my homie, my bro Joe Avery, man, he's a diehard Tennessee fan. He's been a diehard Tennessee fan since the moment I met him, man. He's tried to get me to go to so many games with him, offered to drive and pay and all this stuff. So, Joel, I'm going to take you up on these offers one day, bro. We're going to go to Tennessee and we're going to watch this game. But my mans, y'all are going to suck this year. Y'all are going to suck this year. Y'all are going to suck this year, and it probably will turn out to be the best thing that can happen for y'all. Like it really can turn. Like Tennessee blowing it this year could be the best thing that happens for them. One, what probably was the most borderline quarterback in the NFL. If you were under Ryan Tannehill, you were buns. If you were over him, you were good, great to elite. Everything that made him great and good is out the door and gone. All right? Ain't nobody around no more. You have Derrick Henry, but now everybody's gonna key in on him. Which I mean, again, everybody's been keying in on Derrick Henry, and you can't stop him anyway. But I just don't think that what happened with this team is beneficial. Last year, when y'all lost week 1 to the Cardinals, I said, oh, well, they'll still win their division and they'll get into the playoffs and probably be a number 1 seed because it's Vrabel and it was just a bad week. I don't see that for y'all this year. I don't see that for y'all this year at all. I just think y'all are, I think picking up Treylon Burks, you were looking for an AJ Brown replacement. I don't think it's going to work. I don't think Robert Woods is going to work. I think Robert Woods worked because he was in a perfect scheme that went good for him. I don't think that works here for you. Yeah, I don't think that works here for you guys in Tennessee. I don't think Austin Hooper works here for you guys in Tennessee. I just think this is the time for y'all to bum out, which is going to be great because you know why? You drafted the Air McNair apparent in Malik Willis. So y'all going to be all right. Bomb it this year. Tennessee fans, grab your torch and pitchforks. Get Tannehill out of here. We don't hope injury on nobody. Get Tannehill out of here. Or if Vrabel's a cold enough dude, maybe he just lets Malik get the burn. But Malik Willis, man, y'all got him in the tuck, and I think no matter what happens this year, allow him to sit and chill for the year, and you have your starting quarterback going into next year. So, like, even when I looked at the offseason moves in their draft, I was like, God, this is bad. It's just ugly. Like they're very, very ugly. But I can also find myself repeating this from a guy who came under Belichick and looking at both of them and being like, y'all got some really ugly off seasons. I don't really know what y'all are doing this year. So it's got to be a Belichick type of deal as to why I think like their off seasons are very ugly. But I've always been high on Vrabel. I've called y'all to win the division. I'm not calling y'all to win the division this year. I think this is definitely a down year for the Tennessee Titans. I expect bad things to happen to y'all so y'all can get off of Tannehill and play Malik.
Cool. I'm right there with you. Biggest move for them was it was no additions. It was all the losses, man. They lost AJ Brown for a bag of Cheetos. They lost Julio Jones. I don't know. I ain't really high on this team, to be honest with you. I'm not high on them.
No.
I wasn't even high on them last year. I was wrong last year.
No.
They came out. They played hell. They did a hell of a job. And the reason I wasn't higher than them last year was because of Ryan Tannehill. I do not believe in Ryan Tannehill. Never did. Never will. Ever since he stepped in for Mariota when Mariota got hurt, Mariota never got a chance to go back and get his job. It is what it is. Now he's starting to see the repercussions of that. I think Malik Willis, like you said, Mike Vrabel might be a cold dude in week 8. They're gonna be probably 0-8. We'll look at that officially here next. And what the schedule is, ain't gonna say, yo, Malik, let's see what you can do, bro.
Yep.
Let's see what you can do because we have some subpar receivers for Ryan Tannehill and a subpar offense that's heavily weighted on a dude that's Derrick Henry, who last year played 8 games, had 900 yards and 10 touchdowns. The man was on pace for 2,000 yards and 20 touchdowns as a running back. What?
Yep.
On pace for 2K again in back-to-back years and 20 touchdowns. The year before he went 2,020 yards, 17 touchdowns in 16 games. They added an additional game last year. Obviously, we saw he missed the second half of the season. But biggest moves for them in the offseason was actually losses, losing those 2 receivers. One thing I do got to say, though, although I don't believe in Ryan Tannehill last year having those 2 big-body receivers, having a hell of an offense last year, he did throw for 3,700 yards, 21 and 14. Yeah. 21 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Significant dip from the year before, 33 touchdowns, 3,800 yards, 7 picks. So he was a little bit more careless this last year. But yeah, that's for me is the biggest moves for them was losses, not additions. That'll take us into looking at their schedule. Week 6 bye, early bye. Early bye gives them a long stretch of the season afterwards.
Yep. So off rip, they'll go 1-0. They'll take care of the Giants. They'll lose to Buffalo. They'll lose to the Raiders. They will lose to the Colts. And
You're gonna lose to Washington too. We gave that to Riverboat.
Yeah, I gave it to Riverboat on that end.
You did.
Damn, Mike. Yeah, I did. Again, God, to say that a Mike Vrabel team goes 1-4 at a bye week is damn near a cuss word. And I like God, but I gotta stand on this. Like if I'm gonna say it, I gotta stand on it. Yeah, like you'll get your dub, then you'll be chilling into the bye week. But because you have a great coach, he wins after the bye week. He wins after that week. So there go your 2 dubs coming back out of the bye week. You lose to Kansas City. No, you know what?
You go on a 5-game losing streak.
That might be a steal. KC might be a steal.
I don't know. I got them in
might be a steal.
After Indianapolis and Houston, I think they go on a 5-game losing streak.
KC might be a steal because they always match up bad with them.
I think that's when they had who they had though. Now,
that's facts.
Outside of Derrick Henry, you hoping Robert Woods comes back and does something amazing. You hoping, the receiver you drafted comes out and does something amazing. You hoping your defense can keep up with that Mahomes.
I'm gonna do this. This is gonna be tough to say because again, I have such a high regard for Mike Vrabel as a coach that it's very tough for me to call this a 5-6 win team. So I want to say the floor of this team is 7 and the ceiling is 10. Because I really can't see Vrabel. Allowing this team to go that bad. Even though I think they're going to be bad, I think because Vrabel's such a great coach, he can make ways to facilitate this. I've seen him do. I mean, I'm not gonna say I intentionally watched him, but again, man, he's a good coach. So it's very tough for me to sit here and be like, "Yo, I see 6 wins like I see with the Jags."
Nah, man, I'm gonna need you to keep that energy. I'm gonna need you to keep the energy you had before this. The Titans are going to suck. Tannehill has no one to throw to. I don't care who you're talking to me about. I don't care who Mike Vrabel is. We are not talking about a Bill Belichick with a Mac Jones and nobody else on the field, or Tom Brady with no receivers in a Bill Belichick type offense. We talking about a Mike Vrabel with a Ryan Tannehill and no one else to throw to.
I'm gonna give them 7. I'm gonna give them 7 and 10 this year.
Where's your 7 coming from?
7.
Washington,
7
Indianapolis, Houston.
I'm gonna give them 7 because they're gonna steal one. Always steals one. He wasn't supposed to beat Buffalo last year and he stole it. So he always steals one. He just has a way of doing that. Again, I got to give him 7. It is it almost really feels like against nature to say that this man has because if I'm looking at it, really looking at it, I'll go
team,
okay.
Dog. That's a 5-win team. That's the ceiling and the floor is 5 wins.
1-4 at the bye. They come out, they get 2. So now they're 3-4 going into week 9 at KC. It's a Sunday night game at KC, so I can't give you the win. I can't give you the win against Denver. I can't give you the win against Green Bay. I can't give you the win against Cincinnati.
They don't have a defense.
Hey man, Tannehill threw 3 picks and they only lost by a last-second field goal.
Cincinnati's a year older and a year more experience together, man. I don't know. I can't believe it.
No, I can't. So hold up. So that was 3-4. You said that's 3-9. That's this is real tough. This is real tough.
Philly.
So I'm 7-10. 7-10 because even if the Colts go to their floor of what I say is a 9-8 season, they still win the division and they get out of here, and then we're cool. So not because 9 and 10 wins has to win the division for the Colts, and So I'll give them 7-10 this year for the Titans.
That's real
I'll give them
generous,
7.
man. I don't know. It's a little bit of flip of energy from what we had before we looked at the schedule.
Yeah, I gotta get because I can't go against Rabel that much.
That's tough. You give him 7 wins?
He steals them. Again, he steals them. He steals them. I said we all like.
I just don't think he got the personnel to do that. Not even on defense.
Nah, I don't think he has it on defense either. But again, he's from that Bill mode. Like they really do be making stuff out of nothing. And as a player who I have my eye on specifically, who if they want to get to this 7-8 wins is gonna be needed. So you check out the depth chart. They actually have him as a star cornerback. He was hurt at the beginning, came out of the rookie class last year. Caleb Farley. Big physical corner came out. I remember he was even getting talked to the top 10 stuff. I never believed it because I felt like it was a gas push, which it was. He fell down because he had injury. That's a guy I'm looking at. I'm looking at Jeffrey Simmons. Again, it's not like there's nobody who really steps out, but if there's somebody who would need to step up to help this, I know they picked up the cornerback, Roger McCray, however you pronounce his name. So him and Farley are 2 guys I'm looking at in the secondary to try to help this out. Again, Tannehill, I'm with you. I don't believe in him. I don't like him. He completely downgraded on the weapons that he had in his room. Robert Woods, perfect for Rams, not perfect for the Titans. I'm not giving no stock to Treylon Burks because I just didn't like him throughout the whole process. And to try to come in and duplicate any of that, I can't really give you that. Again, it's going to live off the back of, which it has for Derrick Henry. And when Derrick Henry's on the field, dude's always productive because he runs that load. But his backup, Hassan Haskins, is nice. Like, Hassan Haskins is really nice, bro. Like, that dude is really nice. So I have expectations for him to be able to catch some of the load, too, to help out there. But, yeah, I like it's too much for me to go against Rabel to call him a 5-6 win team. Even though...
So your floor is 7?
Nah, my floor is 5. It's 5-7. It's 5-7.
Okay.
That's
I'm about to say, bro, because it was sounding like your floor was 7.
7's not the floor. 5-7 is what I have to tell you.
Okay. I'm in agreement with you then. If the
Because I
floor
still
is
have
5,
the Colts winning. I still have the Colts winning the division on like a 2-game gap. I think the Colts, on a 2-3 game gap, I have them winning.
I don't know, man. I got all the predicted schedules and all the predicted records that I got here, as well as who they beaten. And I'm just trying to stay consistent with the Titans losing to who I got them losing to. And that 5-game losing streak, starting in KC, ending in Philly, is where I think they just kind of fall off. They're going to come back and win against Jacksonville. You're not winning against the Chargers in LA. You might go get Houston. You're going to lose against Dallas, and you might go get Jacksonville. So I got them 5 games. I agree with you. 5 is definitely the floor. It's hard for me to see what the ceiling is at 7. Be generous. I'm going to give them 6. Titans fans are going to be mad. I don't care. Y'all suck. I hope y'all continue to suck. I hope Ryan Tannehill is not your quarterback next year because he's not going to be. It's going to be Malik Willis. Anyways, key players. Give me 2 of them.
So I say, first one was Caleb Farley.
Okay.
Caleb Farley. Let's see if he can, again, take a leap here, start to push that first round draft pick that he got taken with. And my second one here, I really don't want to put this on Derrick Henry because he's been the engine for this team for so long, bro. Like, he really has. And I just don't think that that's fair to continue to ask this man to continue to perform at this level that he has been. But again, his production is what's needed for the success of this team. But again, Caleb Farley, I'm definitely keeping an eye on him. And again, unfortunately, like we talked about for Derek Stingley, Treylon Burks, you have no room to be a rookie. Like, you don't have room to be a rookie, bro. You have to walk in and be a number 1 from day one. So, I don't want to do it to you, bro. I don't, because, we try to be gracious to rookies. But again, you weren't afforded that. You weren't afforded that because About a couple minutes after they got the number one out of there, they picked you up. So you weren't afforded that leisure. So Traylon Burks is definitely a person we got to look at because again, if he could turn into a serviceable wide receiver year one, again, it's not Brown, it's not Julio, it's not these guys, but it'll help that. So again, I'm gonna give you the same stat line that I try to put on John Mechie. Let me get 65 to 70 catches. For him, it should really be 70 to 80, 800 to 900 yards. You know what I'm saying? That's what it really should be like. But God, I really don't want to do that to that man. But Traylon, man, you got set up, bro. That's how I feel. I feel like you got set up. Man.
All right, man.
And Taylor Lewan, man. Week 1 last year, Chandler Jones.
Taylor Lewan's
a
menace.
Yeah. Taylor Lewan's the menace, man. I'm gonna make you a key player because you got a pretty cool podcast. Bring us on. Let's come kick it with you a little bit.
Let's come kick it on the bus. We're trying to come kick it on the bus.
Yeah, let's come kick it on the bus, bro. I'm sorry we had to talk bad about your team like this, though. But man, like,
I'm not sorry. I hope you bring us on the bus so I can talk about your team to your face. Your O line is gonna be the key for me. Your whole O line, all of them, from Taylor Lewan all the way down to Dylan Radunz.
Radun. Yeah, I like him though.
Your whole O line. That's gonna be your key. Cause Ryan Tannehill gonna suck. So y'all just gonna continue to block for Derrick Henry. Period. On defense, I'm gonna look at Bud Dupree. Bud Dupree, man, look, they gave you the bag. They gave you the bag to come from Pittsburgh. You played last year. You only played 11 games. You only got 17 tackles. What are you doing? 11 games, 17 tackles? You got a tackle and a half per game. What are you doing? Bud Dupree.
Taking money, bro.
They gave you the bag. You played 11 games. You only got 17 tackles, dog. I'm going to continue to say that. 3 sacks. Your best season in Pittsburgh was 68 tackles, 11 and a half sacks, 4 forced fumbles. And that was in 2019, 2 years before they took you away from Pittsburgh. And now you come over here on a defensive-minded, defensive scheming head coach. You're playing like Bud. What? Come on, Bud. Bud Dupree for me is going to be the key next year. Not necessarily the key to success, but I need you to justify getting paid, man. Go tackle somebody more than 17 times, please.
Man.
3 sacks last year. What?
This is crazy that we got to downplay a Mike Vrabel coach team.
I'm okay with that.
Wild.
I'm okay because we going as much as we're going to talk about Bill Belichick's coaching tree and coming from that. We got Bill Belichick being last in his division next year.
Yeah.
So to me, I'm gonna keep that same energy with your coaching tree because they just don't look good right now. Mike Vrabel and these Titans. I got some Titan fans out there that's probably gonna watch this and they're gonna hate me. That's okay, because y'all gonna lose to us as the last of your 5-game losing streak in Philly, and then we can talk about that then. But
that's wild, bro.
That wraps up the division as a whole. Wild. Give me a bold take. Bold take for the AFC South. Bold take for the AFC South.
Bold take for the AFC South. A 9-8 team wins the division. That's one. A 9-8 team wins the division, which would be the Colts. That's the first prediction. Number 2, Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence, man. Trevor Lawrence goes 4K and 30.
Ooh.
And I'm not even gonna lie, like I'm kind of confident on that one.
Ooh.
That Trevor goes
4K and 30.
Yeah, 4K and 30.
I like that.
And 4K and 30. And again, man, I really want Stingley to get a defensive rookie of the year. That would be nice. But yeah, Trevor Lawrence, man, 4K and 30. And this was the only division where if I said there was a team that was supposed to go from worst to first, it's the Jags. So this is my So this is my division where I say if there was a chance for the team that's in last place to go to first, it'll be Jacksonville. So I'm putting some stock into Jacksonville here. Trevor going 4K 30 and the potential that they go from worst to first.
Damn, 4K 30. What's crazy is that's not out of reach.
No.
Okay. For me, I'm gonna go Super Bowl, man. We're gonna see JT go for 2K. Jonathan Taylor going 2K. And Derrick Henry's going for 2K. We're going to have 2 running backs in the same division going for 2K. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
That's crazy.
The Colts need it. Titans for damn sure need it. I think these two is going to be neck and neck all year going right for that rushing title. We might go and see Derrick Henry 4K, or he might go for 2K with that 20 touchdowns. I'm gonna give him 15. I'm gonna give him 15.
Yep.
15. And then JT, I got him going 2K for like 17.
Because, man, 2,000-yard rushers.
Two 2,000-yard rushers. I mean, it was on pace for it last year. Henry didn't get hurt. I think they would have kind of been right there. But I think we're going to see the first time ever two 2K rushers. And they're going to be from the same division. One of them is going to be the worst team. The other one's going to be the best team in that division.
Man, that's a hot one.
That's my bold take.
Let's get it. That'll wrap it up for the AFC South.
Next week, that's going to take us into your division.
The NFC South. Yep, we go to my hood in the NFC South where the players play and we ride on them things like every day. So that's going to be fun. NFC South. Deuce is already sending me millions of notes and telling me things to say. So I got to make sure I represent for Deuce on here, and we're going to get it in. Next Tuesday, NFC South, and keep moving this NFL clock.
We are almost done. We are 3 divisions away, right? 3 divisions?
Yep.
NFC South, AFC West,
South,
and NFC West.
West, and then NFC West. And we'll be done with our division breakdowns. Come back, get a look at everything in the conference before it's time to kick off the season.
Yep. Y'all probably going to see this clip on TikTok, but take a look out for TTE Pick'ems this year. We did them last year.
Yep.
2 people took the L. We're going to redo it this year. We're going to run it back. That way, Cream City at the Super Bowl, whoever got the worst record in the Pick'ems, we got a board of consequences. So we're going to see what y'all if y'all want to rock with us and get in the Pick'ems, we'll have more information as the year approaches. But any final thoughts?
Final thoughts, man. Ready to get this key. Keep pushing. TTE, baby.
All right, cool. AFC South, I'm Soy. That's Vita. We'll catch y'all next week.